Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we're doing something quite different. Now I've had this idea in my mind for a couple of months now, but now it's exam season in the UK, GCSE season. So I thought we would today compare a GCSE exam paper to an SAT exam paper from the US. Now the reason I want to do this is because I became very interested in seeing how Americans reacted to the British school system, and like comparing like GCSEs to the SATs, and I found a few differences, and I thought and I found a lot of memes about the SAT being so easy and how like Americans take it at 18, whereas we have to take GCSEs at 16, and we have so many more topics and like wider a wider amount of information, etc. We'll compare them, just see how different they could be. Now, just a few things. Now, I'm currently in year 10, which means I've almost finished 1 year of studies of GCSEs, which means I have not learned everything I need to know for my exams. So when I do the GCSE paper, which I have right here, I won't know everything, which is very obvious, but that's the same for the SAT. I know it's been memed on for being pretty easy. However, I'm sure there are things that will be out of my expertise that I'm sure I will need to be older or learn in the US to know about, or do A-level maths, because the SAT is taken around 18 years old, whereas GCSEs are taken at 16. But I would say, based on what I've looked at the papers, because I have looked at them just briefly, I would say GCSE looks harder. But again, that I've just skimmed over them, so I can't really say much. But the fact that it's like multiple choice in the US, at the end I'll also be marking them and like giving myself scores. I've written down like the grade boundaries for both. I've decided we're going to do two maths papers, so we're going to do a maths GCSE compared to two modules of a maths SAT. I know with SAT it's like two modules of reading and writing, so basically English, and then two modules of maths. So I've printed out two modules in my practice and pack. I just printed those out and got them there. In case it was at the top, that's just the website and the code, so I remember where I can get the mark scheme from. You're supposed to do like the reading and writing with the maths, but I was not about to do an English language paper. Feel me to talk to myself and do an English language paper compared to reading and writing SAT. Feel free to let me know. Honestly, it'd be really fun to do so. But yeah, we're just doing maths today, and this is a practice exam from CGP website. It's not a real paper. It's not a past paper. It's like a practice version just with practice questions. It came in a set, and I just took out paper two. This is the calculator one, and the reason I'm doing a calculator one is because SAT you're allowed to use a calculator, so I thought it'd be fair to take one of the calculator papers. And I compared paper 2 and 3, and I think this one looks harder, but it's again I'm not sure. I just like quickly skimmed over them. For the GCSE with all three papers in the practice pack combined, I think it's 240 marks. I think so, but this one paper on its own is 80 marks. So this will be out of 80. The SAT, with the question, it doesn't mention how many marks they're worth. So I've decided that questions are multiple choice are worth 1 mark, and any other ones that are not multiple choice, we've got to write your answer, are 2 marks. So altogether, I think I remember counting 70 marks. So pretty similar. Now, basically, how this video is going to work is I'm going to just quickly like tell you all the questions in each paper, so SAT and GCSE, and then I'll have a sped up version of me doing it. One, because I don't want you to bore you with me reading off the question, explaining what I'm going to do, writing all my stuff down, and writing my answer. That'll be very boring as well, and it's just too much. And second of all, it's also boiling in here, and I really want to have my fan on, but I can't have it on if I'm talking because that's terrible for sound quality. I will have my phone like propped like facing down to show you, so just I'm facing on the paper so you can see that I'm not cheating. And I also have my other phone with a timer. So the GCSE you get an hour and a half, so I'll do the same for the SAT. Just to keep it fair as possible. So this is my camera angle. I'm really sorry, it's really bad. My tripod is broken, so I've had to like really mess with it and like put blue tack down and like positioning, and it's been a crazy trying to set this up. So this is how it's going to be for the rest of the video. I'm very sorry. But yeah, we're going to quickly just like skim through with the paper with you and tell you all the questions, and then we'll just get on with answering all the questions. I've got the SAT here as well. And also here's all my stuff. For a GCSE exam, you actually need quite a lot of stuff. Obviously with the calculator, but you also need a protractor, which you can't see, compass, pen, pencil. You don't need a sharpener. It's not listed, but I'm having one just in case it breaks. Ruler. I've got a highlighter as well, just in case I need to mark any answers, and a rubber for my erasing stuff, and also a red pen, that's for marking for later on. Yeah, you won't always need all this stuff. Usually they say to bring all of this to all of your maths exams, apart from the calculator when you don't need it. In case a question unless you have a question where you need to use them, like construction or angles, etc., etc. So I'll just read off all the questions. So if you want to try them, if you want to like think about them yourself, you can. So first is a quadrilateral has four sides of equal length, perpendicular diagonals, and none of its interior angles are right angles. Write the name of the shape. Question 2, convert 0.000453 into standard form. Then number 3, simplify 12y cubed over 2y to the power of 7. Okay, question 4, the mass of a snowflake is 2.5 milligrams. A million milligrams is a kilogram. Circle calculation that gives the mass of the snowflakes, and there's a few answers. So then question 5, solve 3 brackets x minus 5 equals 5x plus 11. Then question 6, Alison, Boris, and Che shared a lottery winning the ratio 7 to 3 to 2. If Boris's share was 11,367, how much did Alison get? How much more did Alison get than Che? Wow, they got a lot. Then question 7a, solve 2 minus 4x is less than or equal to 12. And then part B, n is an integer. What is the smallest value of n that satisfies 2 minus 4n less than or equal to 12? The final multiple choice answer there. Then Hafsa and Jamila are waiting together at a bus station. Hafsa's bus leaves every 18 minutes and Jamila's bus leaves every 15 minutes. The buses left the station at the same time at 2 p.m. When will the buses next leave the station at the same time? And then you have to explain the assumption you made, any assumptions you made in part A. For part B, question 9, express 0.41 as a fraction in its simplest form. Question 10, Declan keeps chickens and weighs all the eggs they lay. The table shows the weight of chickens he collected the last month, and there's a table, calculate estimate of the mean mass of Declan's chicken. I think you can see that table, I don't know. And then B, the eggs are classified as small if they weigh less than 53 grams. Estimate percentage of his eggs that are classified as small. Describe any assumptions you make. And then question 11, decide whether the triangle below is a right angled triangle, making your reasoning clear. There's your diagram. Find the arc length of the sector shown below. Give your answer in terms of pi. And then question 13, the table shows the distribution of marks in a school maths challenge. Again, like a cumulative frequency kind of graph. Draw cumulative, not graph table, draw cumulative frequency graph to show these results. Part B, students with 90 or more marks are either awarded a platinum or a gold certificate. Platinum and gold certificates are awarded in the ratio 1 to 5. Students with the highest marks are awarded a platinum certificate. Estimate the minimum mark needed to be awarded a platinum certificate and show the answer. Basically, another way of saying show you're working, also you don't get all the marks. Prove that question 14, prove that the sum of the squares of any two consecutive odd numbers is 2 more than a multiple of 8, whatever that means. Question 15, Tanya and Stuart are taking part in a charity bike race. They have 9 hours to complete the 190-kilometre course. They rode 141 kilometres in the first 6 3/4 of an hour. Do you think they'll finish within the target time? Yes or no? Explain your answer. Question 16, show that 4 over 3 plus root 5 plus root 5 equals 3. 17, part A, write an expression for the nth term of the following sequence. And then part B, use your answer for part A to write an expression for the nth term of the following sequence. And then part C, are all the numbers of the second sequence also in the first sequence? Tick a box to explain your answer. Question 18, the incomplete Venn diagram shows how many year 11 students study Spanish, French, and German. There are 50 year 11 students in total. Part A, 27 students study Spanish, 6 study Spanish and German. Use information to complete the Venn diagram. What percentage of students study German? Circle your answer. If a student is chosen at random, what's the probability that they study exactly one language? Circle your answer. Part D, if a student studying French is chosen at random, what is the probability that they study exactly one other language? Question 19, y is inversely proportional to the square root of x when y equals 12, x equals 0.09. Find the value of x and y equals 9. Question 20, the volume of two spheres are in the ratio 1 to 8. The surface area of the larger sphere is 28 centimeters squared. And what is the radius r of the smaller sphere? Give your answer to 2 decimal places, and they actually give you the equation. Equation 21, the diagram below shows two triangles, ACB and ACD, and find the size of angle ADC. So ADC will be this angle here. Question 22, the functions f and g are defined as follows. F brackets x equals 2x plus 3, g brackets x equals f to the minus 1 brackets x. Solve the equation f brackets x squared equals 5. Give your answer to 2 decimal places. And then part B, work out the value of g brackets x when fx equals 27. 23, the points A, B, and C lie on a circle. Point O lies in the center of the circle. Lines D, F, and E, D, E are tangents to the circle at the points A and C, respectively. Angle BCE equals N. Show that Y equals 180 degrees minus 2N. You must give a reason for each stage you're working. Brilliant. And then last question, question 24. The diagram shows the parallelogram of OABC. The point D lies on AC such that AD to DC equals 3 to 2. The point E lies 2/3 of the way along line CB. Whatever, I don't know what these arrows mean. Guessing I probably haven't learnt that. Show that OA with an arrow on top of it equals bold A, and OC with an arrow on top of it equals C. Show that ODE is a straight line. That's a 5-mark question, clearly. So I don't know anything about that. But that was the GCSE papers. It'll be 10 minutes to go through that. So really it speeds up here. But anyway, now we're going to go through the SAT questions, and hopefully I'll be a bit quicker. Okay, so we have all these questions. So the graph of the system of a linear equation and the linear equation is shown. What is the solution of xy to the system? On the first day of a semester, question 2, a film club has 90 members. Each day after the first day of the semester, 10 new members Join the film club. If no members leave the film club, how many total members will the film club have 4 days after the first day of the semester? Question 3. The graph of the linear function f is shown where y equals f brackets x. What is the y-intercept of the graph f? And then turn over. Question 4. S plus 7r equals 27, r equals 3. What's the solution to rs to a given system of equations? Question 5. A table shows selected values from function f. So here's a little table. Can you see that? Which of the following is the best description of function f? And then question 6. The graph of a system of a linear equation is shown. The solution to the system x to y. What is the value of x? A lot of graph stuff going on right now. Oh well. Amazing. Question 7. What is the range of the 7 scores shown? 8. In the figure, line m is parallel to line n and line k intersects both lines. Which of the following statements is true? Question 9. The equation x plus y equals 1440 represents a number of minutes of daylight between sunrise and sunset. X and the number of minutes of non-daylight y. On a particular day in Oak Park, Illinois, if this day has 670 minutes of daylight, how many minutes of non-daylight does it have? Question 10. Scott, it's a lot of it's very wordy in this SAT, it's crazy. Question 10. Scott selected 20 employees at random from all 400 employees at a company. He found 16 of the employees in the sample are enrolled in exactly 3 professional development courses this year. Based on Scott's findings, which of the following is the best estimate for the number of employees at the company who enrolled in exactly 3 professional development courses this year? And then question 11. If 4x minus 28 equals minus 24, what is the value of x minus 7? Question 12. For a snowstorm in a certain town, the minimum rate of snowfall recorded was 0.6 inches per hour, and the maximum rate of snowfall recorded was 1.8 inches per hour. Which inequality is true for all values of s, where s represents a rate of snowfall in inches per hour recorded for the snowstorm? 13. Y equals 4x, y equals xy minus 12. A solution to the given system of equations is xy, where x is greater than 0. What is the value of x? Question 14. A store sells 2 different size containers of blueberries. The store sales of these blueberries total $896.86. Last month, the equation 4.51x plus 6.07y equals 896.86 represents this situation where x is the number of small containers sold and y is the number of large containers sold. According to this equation, what is the price in dollars of each smaller container? Question 15. A right circular cylinder has a base diameter of 22 centimeters and a height of 6 centimeters. What is the volume in cubic centimeters of the cylinder? Question 16. The graph of the rational function f is shown where y equals f brackets x and x is greater than or equal to 0. Which of the following is the graph of y equals f brackets x plus 5, where x is greater than or equal to 0? At a particular track meet, the ratio of coaches to athletes is 1 to 26. If there are x coaches at the track meet, which of the following expressions represents the number of athletes at the track meet? Question 18. Kaale uses fabric measuring 5 yards in length to make each suit for a men's choir. The relationship between the number of suits that Kaale made x and the total amount of fabric that she purchased y in yards is represented by the equation y minus 5x equals 6. What is the best interpretation of 6 in this context? 19. What is the value of tan 92 pi over 3? 20. In the triangle shown, what is the value of cos x? 1. The function g is defined by g brackets x equals brackets xy plus 14 brackets t minus x, where t is a constant. In the xy plane, the graph of x the xy plane, the graph of y equals gx passes through the point 24, 0. What is the value of g0? 22, x brackets x plus 4 squares plus brackets y minus 19 squared equals 121, sorry. The graph of the given equation is a circle in the xy plane. The point AB lies in a circle which the following is a possible value of a. 23, a rectangular prism has a height of 9 inches. The length of the prism's base is x inches, which is 7 inches more than the width of the prism's base. Which function v gives the volume of the prism in cubic inches in terms of the length of the prism's base? 24. Which of the following functions has or have a minimum value at minus 3? 2 equations there, whatever the hell they are. And 25, the result of increasing quantity x by 400% is 60. What is the value of x? 26, the function f is defined by f brackets x equals ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are constants. This graph of y equals f brackets x and the xy plane passes through the points 7, 0 and minus 3, 0. If a is an integer greater than 1, which of the following could be value of a, b? And question 27, to the end of the first module, the function g is defined by g brackets x, which equals x brackets x minus 2 brackets x plus 6 squared. The value of g brackets 7 minus y is 0, where not y, w, where w is a constant. What is the sum of all possible values of w? What is 20% of 440? Question 2. Argon is placed inside a container with a constant volume. The graph shows the estimate pressure y in pounds per square inch psi of the argon, where its temperature is x kelvins. What is the estimated pressure of the argon in psi when the temperature is 600 kelvins? Question 3. The function f is defined by f brackets x equals 4x minus 3. What is the value of f brackets 10? Question 4. Which expression is equivalent to 16x cubed y squared plus 14xy? Question 5. A veterinarian recommends that each day a certain rabbit should eat 25 calories per pound of the rabbit's weight, plus an additional 11 calories, which equation represents a situation where c is the total number of calories the veterinarian recommends a rabbit should eat each day if the rabbit's weight is x pounds. 6. If 6n equals 12, what is the value of n plus 4? Question 7. What solution to the given equation? Brackets d minus 30, brackets d plus 30, minus 7 equals minus 7. 8. Line r in the xy plane has a slope of 4 and passes through the point 0 and 6. Which equation defines line r? Question 9. A competitive diver dives from a platform into the water. The graph shown gives the height above the water y meters of the diver x seconds after diving from the platform. Which is the best interpretation of the x-intercept of the graph? Kinetic energy in joules of an object with mass of 9 kilograms travelling at a speed of v meters per second is given by the function k, where k brackets v equals 9 over 2 v squared. Which of the following is the best interpretation of k brackets therefore equals 5202 in this context? 11. The scatter plot shows the relationship between two variables x and y. A line of best fit for the data is also shown. For how many of the 10 data points is the actual y value greater than the y value predicted by the line of best fit? Question 12. At a movie theatre, there are a total of 350 customers. Each customer is located in either theatre A, theatre B, or theatre C. If one of these customers is selected at random, the probability of selecting a customer who is located in theatre A is 0.48, and the probability of selecting a customer who is located in theatre B is 0.24. How many customers are located in theatre C? 13. What is the slope of the graph y equals the third bracket 29x plus 10 plus 5x in the xy plane? 14. The length of each edge of a box is 29 inches. Each side of the box is the shape of a square. The box does not have a lid. What is the exterior surface area in square inches of the box without a lid? 15.5. Whatever the hell they are, a type of C-test. Oh, okay. Each have a nest. The table shown an original data set of the number of eggs that each turtle has laid. There's our table. A sixth nest with 121 eggs is added to create a new data set, which the following correctly compares the means of the two data sets. 16. In triangle RST, the measure of angle R is 63 degrees. Which of the following could be the measure in degrees of angle S? Question 17. Which expression is equivalent to brackets 8x cubed plus 8 minus brackets x cubed minus 2? 18. If 4 root 2x equals 16, what is the value of 6x? 19. 2x minus y is greater than 883. For which of the following tables are all the values of x and their corresponding values of y solutions to the given inequality? 20. 5y equals 10x plus 11, and minus 5y equals 5x minus 21. I'm not sure you can see that. Solution to the given system of equations is x and y. What is the value of 30x? 21. A rectangle is inscribed in a circle such that each vertex of the rectangle lies on the circumference of the circle. The diagonal of the rectangle is twice the length of the shortest side of the rectangle. The area of the rectangle is 1089 root 3 square units. What is the length in units of the diameter of the circle? 22. Rectangles A, B, C, D, and E, F, G, H are similar. The length of each side of E, F, G, H is 6 times larger than the length of the corresponding side of A, B, C, D. The area of A, B, C, D is 54 square units. What is the area in square units of E, F, G, H? 23. Which expression is equivalent to 42a over k plus 42ak? 24. Which quadratic expression has no real solution? 5p brackets t equals 260 brackets 1.04 to the power of 6 over 4 t. The function p models the population in thousands of a certain city t after after 2003. According to the model, the population is predicted to increase by 4% every n months. What is the value of n? 26. A circle in the xy plane has its center at -1, 1. Line t is a tangent to the circle at the point 5, -4. Which of the following points also lies on line t? And finally, question 27. For an electric field passing through a flat surface perpendicular to it, the electric flux of the electric field through the surface is the product of the electric field strength and the area of the surface. A certain flat surface consists of two adjacent squares where the side length in meters of the larger square is 3 times the side length in meters of the smaller square. An electric field with strength 29 volts per meter passes uniformly through the surface, which is perpendicular to the electric field. The total electric flux of the electric field through the surface is 4,640 volts dot times meters, whatever the hell that is. What is the electric flux in volts times meters of the electric field through the larger square? Wow, where's he want to end with? Okay, I've been reading off questions for almost 15 minutes, so I'm moving right inside. And my voice is tired, my mouth is dry, and I am currently boiling, so I'm very happy to get to turn my fan on and be silent while working through this. I give myself an hour and a half for both. Hopefully I won't need that much time, but we'll see.
I begin to I begin to
Okay, guys, so I've looked through my paper, I've given up on some questions that I can't be bothered to do, as you saw. I'm now going to do the SAT. I can't believe I've still got to do more maths. Oh my god, I can't believe I put myself through this, so you better subscribe. But yeah, I'm going to do that now, and then off camera I shall mark these, and then I'll give you my like grades or whatever. But next up is the SAT. Okay guys, so I spent about half an hour on this SAT. I have checked through, well, so I've just looked at the questions that I can't answer, that I don't know, can't be bothered. I also can't be bothered to check. I did the same with the GCSE paper because in reality none of this matters. But now I'm going to mark these and I'll be back with you with my final grade and scores, and I'll tell you how I've done the grading as well. Okay guys, so I finished marking both papers and it is not what I expect at all. Before I continue, I'm very sorry about the camera being different. I'm just tired now and I'm also, it's been ages. But for the GCSE paper, I didn't do well on either apparently. But the GCSE paper, I got 34 out of 80, 42.5%, which with the way I've written out the grades in my notebooks, I'll just show you quickly. This is like the grade boundaries I've put based on like the max amount of marks. I got a 5, which is a pass in GCSE. 4's a pass, 3's a fail. So I just got over a pass, but that's really infuriating. But I did expect it because I skipped so many questions that I didn't know. And you have to remember, I'm year 10. I haven't learned all this yet. So yeah, I got a 5. So maths teachers, don't see this, please. And then this really shocked me. The SAT, I got an F, which is crazy to me. I got 39 out of 70. 55.7%, which is an F, and it was like literally just teetering on the edge of being an F or a D minus, which I'm really shocked by because when I was going through it, I was ticking loads. Now, obviously, I've counted multiple choices 1 mark, non-multiple choices 2 marks. Obviously, there's a big difference there, and I know if I did it properly, I probably would have gotten better. But yeah, I'm shocked that I got an F on that. But it's fine. Again, I haven't learned all this stuff, and there's a lot of some stuff I might not even learn for GCSE. I do expect to though, because there was some similar stuff, especially all the graph stuff and the F brackets X. There was a similar question in GCSE paper. But yeah, that really shocked me. So technically, I passed and failed. I failed this one and passed that one, but I did actually do better because I got 55% compared to the 45% or whatever the hell it was for GCSE. So yeah, but there you go. There's the comparison. Overall, I would say GCSE was definitely harder. The fact that it was multiple choice just makes it really easy. And there were quite a few questions that are like year 8, year 9, even year 6 questions in here that a year like 11-year-olds could do. But I did find GCSE way harder. And I would say with multiple choice, you have got a fair chance with the multiple choice to guessing it right. All the ones I guess I got wrong, which is probably why I didn't do so well. But you know, it's fine. But yeah, overall, it was actually really fun to compare it. Did I enjoy doing maths? No, but overall, the experience, it was a fun time. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I know it's gonna be really long, so if you did watch, thank you so much for watching all the way through. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.